Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Murdoch DeFi YouTube channel. And in today's video, we are starting a new series called Ponzi Patrol, where we check out protocols that are getting ready to launch or they've just recently launched and give them a pass or fail on whether or not they're a Ponzi. So, the project that we are going to be discussing today is called BUSD Verse. And this is 100% a Ponzi, and we're going to go into why that is and why you should probably stay away from it. Before we go, guys, if you get any value out of today's video, please make sure you smash up that like button and subscribe with post notification turn on if you haven't done so already. But let's go ahead and get into this. If you guys have any, also, but before we do, if you guys have any projects that you want to be looked at in this light as it pertains to projects being a Ponzi or not, then definitely drop them down in the comments and I will check them out and potentially make a video about them. So I know that we've I would say a lot of us have learned our lessons interacting with a lot of these smart contracts or these dApps that have all turned out to be Ponzi's for the most part. So I think a lot of people have learned over the past, let's just say, since the beginning of the year, about what makes a protocol a Ponzi. So that's what I want to discuss today, and it just kind of blows my mind, to be honest, how projects like the one that we're talking about today are still actively out there trying to put out contracts, trying to get investors. It's just wild. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's jump into it. BUSD verse, high APY yield farms. This is not a fucking yield farm, but I digress. I believe this just recently launched, 62,000, almost $63,000 BUSD in the total value locked. However, if we check the contract, and I'll go ahead and refresh this, $50,568. So I don't know where the fuck they're getting this number from. Anyways, 137 active users. Of course, this is a protocol since it is a Ponzi. They are going to be using referral rewards. So this is the referral rewards that they've paid out to people. So of course, this is on BSC. Again, we'll look into this. So how to participate, connect your wallet, choose one of three ways, or choose the way you want to connect your wallet. Obviously MetaMask. Who else uses any of these other things? I have no idea. Choose the pool. Now, if we go back to, I would say again, like the beginning of the year where we had these high ROI dApps, things like Matic Staker. I'm sure that you're all aware. I did plenty of videos on them because at the time they were performing well. Before I think a lot of people really understood how these smart contracts, myself included, really worked. So choose the pool you want to stake BUSD, enter preferred amount of BUSD, and click the stake button. Confirm transactions using wallet connected to the website. Note that daily profit for each pool grows by 0.5% every day, and not only for new and only for new deposits. And then step 3, of course, is to withdraw your earnings, provided that there is still funds in the contract for you to do so. Right, withdraw your earnings at any time. If you're staked in pool 1, 2, 4, or 5, withdraw earnings at the end if you're staked in pools 3 and 6. So, of course, they have these 6 different pools that pay you a varying level of daily APR, or we'll just call it yield, a daily yield. And pool 1, 8.6, pool 2, 7.6, pool 3, 12.6. So I'm sure that, I mean, this is very similar to what we've seen months ago. And I hope that this is not a trend where these things are coming back, because we all know how this goes, right? This goes okay for, like, it will never even get to this point, right? It will never get to the point where you're able to, like, if you were to lock your funds up, or it will never get to the point where it's still around in 28 days. At least that's what we've learned based on past projects that are like this. So in my opinion, I would highly recommend you not to jump into a protocol like this, because the likelihood of you staking your funds and those funds being available when you are able to withdraw them are slim to none. So that, just keep that in mind. I'm making this video to point out that this is a Ponzi and talk about the mechanics in which it makes it a Ponzi, right? All you're doing, this is a completely zero sum game. There is no revenue generation for this protocol at all, to help be able to pay out to investors, right? This protocol, the only reason it survives is the people. There's 137 people in here. The first 20 people that got into this, sure, they might be able to come out and walk away with money, but that is only because the people that come after them. So the only way that this protocol can survive is by continuing to do marketing, continuing to grow this contract balance that they appear not to be very transparent about, because that's not the actual BUSD in the contract. Furthermore, if we look at the smart contract audit, this is by Solid Proof, and this is kind of upsetting too. Is like this audit by Solid Proof doesn't even give you as much information as it would if you were getting audited by Hayes Crypto, for example. And we all, if you don't know, I mean, Hayes Crypto doesn't have the greatest reputation when it comes to auditing companies in the DeFi or crypto space. So when it comes to Solid Proof, they don't even really give you anything other than the the functionality of the smart contracts being okay, right? And they mark everything. They mark with everything with either a blue or a green box, right? So to help you understand that, so informational or low. There's no medium, high, critical risks within the contract. So essentially, what they're doing is just saying, "Hey, well, this contract works exactly how it's expected to, if you choose to interact with it via the DApp, right, or otherwise on the back end. That the contract is performing the necessary things, it's safe, and but that still doesn't negate the fact that this is a Ponzi and it relies on new money coming in to pay out old investors, right? And at least with Hayes Crypto, that would literally be one of the critical or high issues. Would be, hey, this contract requires new investors to be able to pay out old investors, or like the yield that they're paying out is from new investors coming into the protocol. So very interesting that that Solid Proof neglects to do any of that, and again, it's kind of sad. So that's another thing, guys, is like it's very hard to be able to trust these auditing companies, because clearly they know what this contract is doing if they are auditing it. But as you can see here, it's just essentially testing and verifying all these things, giving them a pass, and then saying, "Oh yeah, it's good to go." But really, that's about it as far as it's very very lackluster audit, um, which is kind of upsetting. But that being said, of course, they have a referral, so you get 5% from level 1, 3% from level 2s, 1% from level 3s. You can choose your plan here. You can restake, you can stake, you can restake in a random pool. So that being said, I just wanted to bring this to light. BUSD verse, definitely do not invest. This is a Ponzi. If you do invest, you are probably an idiot, right? At this point, if you watch this video and you go invest into this protocol, then you deserve to lose your money, because I'm literally telling you not to jump into this. You can take that information and do with it what you will. Again, if there is any projects that you would like to have on Ponzi Patrol, just drop them down in the comments. I'll check them out and potentially make a video about them. But if this is content that you guys would like to see more of, please do let me know as well down below in the comment section of today's video. Lots and lots of cool stuff coming to the channel, trying to change things up. I know that we've talked about a lot of these Ponzi's here on the channel, and that happened to be what was popular at the time, right? When we talk about miners, I think that when miner season came around, a lot of people didn't really understand, myself included, didn't really understand how these contracts function in totality. But, you know, the light at the tunnel says that the majority of these projects within the DeFi space are all Ponzi's. So I'm doing my best to try to find projects that are worthwhile that we can talk about that pass the Ponzi test, but also include projects like today, BUSD verse, that clearly does not pass the Ponzi test. Um, that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.